What is up, maniacs? Welcome back to Sound and Pound. It is Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. We are your hosts, Drake Riggs and Alex Behune, here to bring you the latest and greatest in the world of mixed martial arts, the wacky and weird, all that good stuff each and every week. And we get another off week as the slow fallout from UFC 300 continues, and a break is always good here and there, especially when we're kind of sifting through the remnants of 300, as I said right there. But it's getting good for the next one. Next week will be a good one. We're looking forward to UFC 302. But before then, we have Bellator Paris to recap. We have UFC Vegas 92 to recap. And we'll be hanging out with you guys, pretty much letting you drive the show for the most part, since we like to do that when there is nothing to preview. But we still have things we can fill our regular segments with, so we'll still go down the line. But please feel free to interact. As always, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Hit us up over at MMA Mania, read the articles, all that good stuff. But yes, get your questions in throughout the show. We'll try and address them as quickly as possible and as often as possible today, because of the fact that, nothing to look forward to this week aside from just chilling. But Alex, my friend, how you doing? How did you enjoy the pretty loaded weekend of action we got in the MMA world this past weekend?
Yeah, it was nice. It's nice. It was good. The Tyson Fury Alexander Usyk fight was amazing, and we're almost through the shit stain of May. To get all we need to get to is June. We get to June, and everybody's MMA fandom will come back in droves because June is fucking loaded.
Yes, that is a good one. We have, obviously, 302 is like right on the edge, right? Because it's on the day. It's on June 1st, so last week of May, but it counts. It's in June. You got that one. Then we got the Saudi Arabia show, Hamzat and Whitaker. That's just beautiful, and that whole main card's nice. Obviously, UFC 303, International Fight Week. It's going to be good. It is going to be good, you guys. So, yes, Ghost is here. Maniacal moment for him was we'll get into that. We'll hold off on that, first of all, because, yes, of course, there's some things to talk about there. But, Alex, let's just get our thoughts real quick on kind of the main event victories, though, from this past weekend. And we'll start off with, you mentioned Fury and Usyk. I didn't watch it. I wasn't going to bring it up since I'm not a boxing guy, but
Come on, bro.
I know, right? I don't know. Did you agree? It seemed like everyone was pretty clear that it was like a 1-round split in favor of Usyk. How'd you score it? Was it the best heavyweight fight of all time? There's all these claims going around. Just how'd you feel about it, I guess?
Combat sports fans are they deal with extremes, right? Like every fight's the best fight of all time. Every fight's the worst fight of all time. Every decision's a robbery. And it's just like, fucking chill. But I will say, Fury versus Usyk lived up to the expectations, and it was. I had Usyk winning. I almost bet a draw because boxing is. You never know.
Wow.
I figured it was going to be a draw, but I'm glad that Usyk won because he was the rightful winner, man. And it's good. I think the rematch in October will be very cool. It'll be very nice, and I think it'll be even more hype, even though. Yeah, it just will be. So it was a fun boxing match, and I'm not a boxing head by any means, but heavyweight boxing, when it's a good one,
when it's good, it's good.
When it's good, it's fucking good. And when big boxing matches are like the big standard, like it's right up there with fucking MMA. It's just like you feel it in the air. So, yep.
Yeah. Did they take forever to get out this time?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's
every time.
Yeah, every time. That plus, like in Saudi Arabia, like you still feel like they're basically boxing in the apex, but like over blood money. Like it's not an atmosphere. Like if that fight would have taken place in the MGM or Madison Square Garden,
right?
Fucking place would be crazy. It's just Saudi Arabia is just. They
Very
put on
isolating.
Put on a great show. They put on a great show, and they're putting on mega fights. It's just the atmosphere is just like I mean, yeah, there's all these fucking billionaires in the crowd and celebrities and shit, but like, there's just no energy. So
Yeah, it's not the same.
whatever.
That's a bummer. But Ghost says, speaking of Fury versus Usyk, I thought that was phenomenal. I'm not siding on one side or the other, just brilliant display of skill from both and contrasting styles nicely. Yeah, and kind of not David versus Goliath, but the clear size difference was there between both of them. Now for the cynical part, how evil is the IBF commission for going to strip Usyk in a few weeks because of a mandatory challenger? Boxing commissions are the worst. I don't even understand this. What does he mean, Alex?
So I forgot who the boxer is, but he was granted he is granted a title shot after his last win, and he's granted the title that Usyk currently holds, and he's not going to be able to. Usyk isn't going to be able to defend that title, so they're going to strip Usyk of that title. Even though Usyk is the undisputed champion, the first one since 1998. It's 98 or 97. I've written five articles this weekend and I forgot. But yeah, like that's the problem with having all of these belts and all of these promotions. Like that's, I mean,
sounds
it
very
doesn't.
dumb.
Yeah, it's very confusing, very dumb. But it is what it is. Whatever.
Yeah, there's always one fucking little thing about boxing that just pisses me off, like whether it's that, the consistently like rigged judging that's going on. There's always some little nugget to it that's just stupid, man. But let's go on over to everyone's favorite Apex, as you said there, UFC Vegas 92. I mean, pretty solid show. Here's kind of the goal. Here's kind of the gauge that I'm noticing for myself with these Apex shows is if I can make it through the card without falling asleep, we're on to something. That didn't happen this time. I fell asleep right before Demba's fight, so I missed that one.
And Demba's performance didn't put you to sleep.
It didn't put me to sleep. His walkout did. But no, other than that fight, I thought everything else was pretty solid. I thought this was a pretty decent card, Alex. And then in the victory in the main event, Lerone Murphy's legit. He did exactly what we hoped to see out of a guy in that position. Poured the pressure on, fought brilliantly against Edson. Capitalized on the moments when he had him hurt. Nearly got him out of there at some points. Jab was fucking beautiful in this fight. My goodness, I mean, he showed up and showed out. I thought he looked amazing, obviously.
Yeah, no, he beat down Edson Barbosa the way that he should, right? Like there was no way that like if you're going to be an elite fighter in this featherweight division that like you should have like a close like a back and forth with Edson at this state of his career and the state of your career. Like you should go out there and beat this guy down, and he did. He looked, I mean, post fight, he looked like it was a 5-round just fucking war. But yeah, no, it was a great performance. I hope Lerone can stay healthy and fight 2 more times this year so that we don't forget about him like we always do. Like he'll come back, he'll get a good win, then he's gone, and he's back, and we're like, oh, what did he fight last time? So I highly doubt he's going to be able to turn around in 12 weeks because of the damage, but hopefully he does, man. Because he's from Manchester, it would be iconic for him to have that crowd behind him. So I'm hoping he's able to turn around.
Yeah, that'd be sick, but I'm not too optimistic about it either. And then what do we do with him? Who do we give him, Alex? Because I think there's a lot of great options. He hasn't fought really any of these guys. Edson was that gate, that opening. Sorry to go back to the gatekeeper talk last week, but here we are again. He's got some good choices, I think.
So he moved up to 11 in the rankings today. I would give him Calvin Kattar, number 9.
Yeah, that seems totally perfect for like prelim headliner maybe too, because obviously the main card is set of that one. But
yeah, that's
ideally if he could turn around too. But either way,
yeah, that's what I would do.
Oh, Jimmy here with suggesting Diego Lopez, which I think that's a fantastic fight, but wrong timing. I think maybe give him a little space on that one.
And Diego Lopez is going to fight a top 5 fighter.
He's gonna get what he wants.
Wink,
That guy's
wink.
getting
He's getting a top 5 fighter.
rockets strapped to that
Yeah.
guy. But that'll be fucking awesome at some point. I look forward to that when it does hopefully inevitably happen. Rio asking why did they have Murphy versus Barboza as an Apex main event, but Derek Lewis as a St. Louis main event? I would have switched it, to be honest. I probably would have as well. I mean, in terms of more interesting fight and matchup for sure, but we got to be honest, and just Derek Lewis is the most popular guy of all four of them.
Derek Lewis sold tickets. Murphy and Barbosa not going to sell tickets in St. Louis. Like, that's be real.
I mean, we know at this point anybody will, but yeah, Derek Lewis is the maximum out of these four, unfortunately. I mean, good for him, but yeah, that is what it is. Jimmy asking how bad is the UFC at promoting fighters? Murphy was nearly killed in a car accident where he dragged himself to the hospital. Yeah, they didn't. I mean, they mentioned the story decently.
I feel like it's been in every fucking promo, every story this week is how he got shot in the face. And yeah, I don't know. I saw it in every fucking promo. So I don't know. Maybe everybody else didn't, but
yeah, I mean, yeah, you definitely hear about it, but I mean, I guess there's ways to make it more emotional. Whatever you're seeking, Jimmy, let us know. Yeah. So, all right, then we'll go on over to Paris, Alex, where our guy, the best bantamweight on the planet, he had a good test in his rematch there against Magomedov. Split decision. One judge thought that he didn't even win it. But how'd you feel?
And I have to be honest. I watched it again, and the first time I thought Patchy won. The second time I thought Magomed edged it out. So I think I have to watch it a third time to kind of really get my thoughts. I think it was a close fight. And of course, as we all predicted, yeah, I mean, everyone thinks he's the worst fighter. He's a fraud. He's so bad. When
such
people dude. Do people not understand that Magomedov will be a top 15 fucking bantamweight in the UFC? Maybe top 10.
He's always been really good. Like, dude, we just saw what happened in their first fight. So it's like
dude, you're not telling me that Magomedov wouldn't beat Rob Font or Jose Aldo or Date, you know what I'm saying? Like Cheeto Vera. You don't think he wouldn't beat Cheeto Vera?
Yeah,
right. Who is currently top 5? He's number 4. You don't think he'd beat Cheeto Vera?
I saw somebody coming at you saying that Cheeto would beat Patchy. I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah,
this is just awful.
The same people that haven't seen Patchy Mix fuck up Marab for 5 rounds. Like, you're saying, like, just chill. But I understand, like, there was a lot of hype on Patchy Mix, so everybody expected him to go in there and do what he did to Magomed the first time around, which is understandable. Like,
he set himself up that way, which
1000%. And the media, like, we all labeled him the best bantamweight in the world. So he needs to go out there and perform like the best bantamweight in the world. I think it was a number of things. I think one, he went in there. I don't think he underestimated him, because I talked with him a lot during camp at Extreme Couture, and he was like really taking him seriously.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, he didn't try to grapple him at all in 5 rounds. He stood there and kickboxed with him for fucking 5 rounds, which like, that's what I want. Like, that's what I'm going to ask him next time I see him. It's like, what was the game plan? Like, did you just want to kind of showcase your striking?
Showing off for his fiance now.
Yeah.
Congrats to the happy couple.
Yeah, 1000%. And like, his striking is improving, but like, Magomed is a better striker. So like, and it showed. Like, he hurt Patchy numerous times in that fight. So, yeah, I would love to hear what the game plan is, and that's what I'm going to ask him. So I will report back in a couple of days.
Yes, yeah, no, I think I'm very fascinated to hear kind of his process about the whole thing, and kind of the position. You never know if there could have been injuries that he was worried about, or those little things that can happen in MMA. But nonetheless, he retains, gets the job done, and it's off to the next one, which we can fingers crossed, Alex. I would, I'm kind of just losing my hope on the Aldo Cruz fight. So I think the next best thing for me would be Mix versus Aldo. I don't know. That would be great, I think, for him. Of course, people are going to fucking shit on his potential to win after this fight, but
Absolutely.
I think that'd be fun.
I mean, he called Leandro Higo. I don't care about that
for
fight
at all. No.
I would like to see him. Depends if he wants to defend the title, he's gonna have to wait and see someone do something. And if no one does anything, then go up to featherweight and fight Pitbull fight. They do a big fight Shane Burgos. Do a super fight.
It's kind of like the best thing at bantamweight for him right now, because you look at all the options, right? He's mostly fought or beat him. Like I was thinking about Sergio and Kyoji's coming up. He's beat both of them, and then Juan Archuleta, who has the win over him, he's at featherweight now, going after that title and rising. So like the best bantamweight possibility might be like that Aldo wild card to come in. It's kind of it's gonna be interesting to see what they want to do with him next. I just hope that he's not fucking like iced out and stalled for way too long, and we'll see.
Unfortunately,
it might be
eight Bellator events this year means
fucking we'll see how that goes. Don't get him on a PFL card. Don't even care. Just get the guy out of his contract, please. Let's get that going. But anyway, let's move on now to the maniacal moment of the week, which it could have been one of these that we addressed, but I think there's plenty of other options, and I got some ready to fire off at you. Ghost was kind of hinting there early on, but I'll start off with, I have a two-parter here, and maybe you could take the other one from the one that I don't take, but I'm going with my girl, Melissa Gatto, who got the spotlight bill last week, who looked fucking awesome, absolutely dominated Tamiris Vidal, as we expected, as she always should have. But it was the finish, obviously, which was kind of
punch.
The titty knockout. She punched Vidal right in the chest, breast, whatever you want to classify it as. She turns her back. And my favorite part about this is that Gatto didn't let a fighter call her own timeout, because that's the thing that always fucking pisses me off. When fighters call their own timeouts, that's not allowed. And the refs let people do it all the fucking time. Gatto didn't even give her the chance. She's got great killer instinct. Poured it on. Didn't care about the titty. She went for it. Got the job done. And that's what you love to see. So great performance by her. All legal. And one of those things where we have also seen, Alex, in the past. I can't say I've ever seen a stoppage from this kind of in this fashion, but I've seen fighters get punched in the breast before, and the refs stop it and treat it like a low blow. Like it's happened in the UFC, and in Invicta, multiple instances I've seen that, but there's no actual rule. It's only groin, eyes, the basic things. Is that fair? I can't say, since I don't have them myself, but it's not in the rules. So this was perfectly fine, but it's the first time we've seen it. So it was pretty maniacal.
Absolutely.
Weird stuff. And I saw people saying, I would have loved to hear from Vidal and kind of her reaction to, was it just like it hurt really bad, or was there some kind of issue there? I don't know.
She pinched her nipple.
Yeah, she kind of twisted there. But either way, Melissa Gatto in perfect fashion, getting that one done. Looks great. Can't wait to see her back. She says she's down for either bantamweight or flyweight, but I would love to see her stick with flyweight.
And I'm guessing the other moment's going to be the headbutt, which
yep.
I mean, mine is too. I mean, let's just talk about it.
Go. Yeah, let's do it.
So Pierre Rodriguez with a negative 7 million fight IQ. I mean, she hurt Carnelossi. Probably was very
incredible
close to
sequence. Front kick followed up.
Dude, was seconds away from finishing her, more than likely. And then a headbutt. All right, her gets warned, and then you do it again, and it. I mean, it was just so fucking dumb. So dumb. And I see a lot of people coming after Carlos that saying that she quit. It
Here
was
we
a
go. Here
job.
comes the rant. I got this loaded too.
I mean, it's like, while I understand where you're coming from and I get it, it's probably a lot that's coming from people who bet on Carnelossi
A
or
million
bet
percent.
on Piera. I understand. You know, she was hurt. She was obviously going to get finished. So why? I mean, fucking take the win, whatever. I mean, it was a smart move by her.
Half your
But
paycheck.
yeah, but Pierre Rodriguez is the one that fucking fouled her.
She
So it's
cheated.
like
It's her fault.
it's her fucking fault. So if you're mad at somebody, go DM Piera. You know, like Carlos, he did her fucking job. She took the win. She got both paychecks because Pierre cheated. And
Yes.
you can fucking twist it up and say she quit. All right, fine, you win. She quit. She got both her fucking paychecks, and she got the win. So whatever.
Yeah, no, man. I'm so glad that you said that because the people shitting on Carnelossi is the dumbest fucking thing I've seen in a couple months because like she did nothing wrong here. As soon as even if she would have been like less hurt from what happened there, Pierre cheated. DQ her no matter what, right away. She fucking got warned. You get warned in the back. She got a second one right there and then does it again. We need to do this more because if we don't, we'll keep seeing these bullshit fucking rules not be enforced.
Yeah,
This is the right thing to happen.
I think if Carlos could have continued, Pierre was going to get DQ'd no matter what.
Yeah.
Because I was overhearing the commission kind of talk about it. Like the decision was fucking basically in. Like,
yeah, so good. I mean, that the people who are bitching about that are just straight up, yeah, they lost their money when but it's, and then for Piera Rodriguez to, the way she's handled it has been terrible as well. She has handled it about as awfully, going that same route. It's like, that this is all your fucking fault, right? Like, it is laughable, poor sportsmanship, just salty, which I get, but like, have a shred of reality to this, man. Like, you wouldn't be here if you didn't do that. And it was about as blatant of headbutts as we've seen in a while. Yeah. And Coach Greg,
1000%.
you're gonna get yourself kicked out with this shit. Like, get out of here, dude. I am not tolerating this today. Yeah, it was absurd. And what Ghost said was not the Rodriguez Carnelossi headbutt, but the reaction to Carnelossi quit because she was fouled insufferable fan base. It's just been insane.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she was hurt from before the headbutt, so I'm guessing like that's what she was, like her little thing after the foul has occurred. But like, who gives a fuck? Like she got fouled. Like, it is what it is. And like the way that Piera is handling it, like you're 2-2 in the UFC and you're lost 2 straight. Like you better what I'm saying, like the UFC can cut you like that if you don't, like the way you're handling it, it's probably gonna get you fucking cut. So
yeah, it's like, have we learned nothing from people biting each other, punching after the bell?
Yeah.
There was a little lack of self-awareness there, but boy, oh boy. It is a bummer though, right? Because like she was looking pretty good. She was looking,
Dude,
she was winning that fight handily.
She had the win. 1000%. She was going to win that fight.
Probably would have got a bonus too, considering that sequence. Like, you never know. I can't guarantee that, but
1000%. She had the win and fumbled it at the 99-yard.
it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, and there's no one else to blame but Piera. And
you made that football reference, and that makes me think of exactly, what was it? Was it Deshaun Jackson who threw the ball out before he crossed?
That's exactly what she did. Yeah, 1000%. Yeah, she fucking fumbled it, and she cheated. And there's no one else to blame but herself. She cheated. She cheated. She got warned and then did it again. Like that's the thing. Like, if the first headbutt, all right, maybe I'd be a little bit more like lenient because shit happens in a fight. But like, you did it after a warning, and that's the problem. And you cheated and you lost. Sorry.
I will say it was hilarious right after that happened, and she gets up and she's like, "Oh, drama." Yeah, yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Just the excuse wasn't even good of like saying that she was trying to position or whatever. Like those were the most obvious headbutts since fucking Mark Coleman, baby. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Wild,
Yeah.
absolutely wild that kind of both of those things happened. Jimmy says for Protect Your Neck Torres versus Dern was the biggest robbery. Is Carlos C. Pierre the biggest dumb moment for our show? I mean, in the existence so far, probably, Alex. Like this was pretty ridiculous.
I mean, it's up there with a fucking bite, bro. You know, bite
Yeah.
somebody in an MMA fight.
Yeah. I know we've got some good ones recently, but oh boy. So very fitting for a maniacal moment. But Ghost asking you, Alex, the headbutt reminds him of Sylvester Miller and Cage Warriors. Very funny. Have you seen that one?
Yep.
I saw you reposted that, Ghost, but I didn't watch it, so shame on me there. But yes. So, all right, before we move on to the underrated moment of the week, Rio asking, what was your favorite terrible Dana White soundbite? We won't go into much detail on this one, but obviously him saying the thing about power slap, Alex. I'm sure you saw that, which was ludicrous. Chatri-esque.
I mean, it is just egregious at this point, bro. Like
no one's believing this.
no one is. And he's getting dunked on by everybody. Like, bro, you can go fucking fact check it. Go bring up. I mean,
you don't even have to.
Even if he's comparing TikTok numbers, go look up the MLB's TikTok and go look up the NFL's TikTok and go look up the NBA's TikTok. They all have more video. Dude, combining. I mean, okay. I could. If you were to say, like, oh, Power Slap's getting more numbers than the NBA, like, okay. But he said combine them all.
And then quadruple.
And then multiply it by 4. Are you fucking retarded? Like, what? What are you? I mean, who is fire whoever's giving you that fucking information because it's making you look like fucking dumb. Like, what are we doing here? Dude.
It was literally his 8 billion viewers moment, you know?
And like, dude, and he's not, and the thing is, like, he keeps saying this, there's no fucking proof, bro. Show it. And then I'll apologize, dude. But like, dude.
That was one of my favorite reactions to that recent media video he did. I don't remember. I would love to give credit to this person who said it, but they responded to it and were like, all right, now show the power slap one.
Yeah,
the power slap
man.
one.
It's crazy, dude. It's just like these figures that I mean,
that one is just
all of the major 4 sports in America and multiply it by 4.
Okay, sure thing, pal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay. All right, bro.
We hear you.
Keep promoting, Mr. Promoter, you know?
Oh, I just love you. Did you see the actual clip?
Oh, yeah.
So I don't remember the other guy name, but he was with Sebastian. The way he was looking at Dana was perfect. He was everybody. You know? Yeah. He was everyone hearing that.
Like, bro, like, I mean, if you just have a little bit of, like, brain power, you have to understand, dude, like.
That's like something you tell that to someone who knows nothing about sports at all, and they'll still might not even believe you.
Power Slap is doing more numbers than the NFL, who stole church away from people. You know, like, the NFL has a fucking day. It has a day. America said, "No, fuck church. You're watching football on Sundays, dude." Like, what? Power Slap has more numbers than that thing?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh my god, bro. Get out of here. It's just so stupid.
It's wild. I think it's officially my new favorite episode, considering all the ridiculous shit.
It's just like, dude, it's crazy to me. It's crazy.
Ooh, yeah, with the last thing on this, with the authority that he says those things too, it's like, Hey man, all
Man,
right, yeah, he's
I mean, is he? I mean, is he getting it from like the Power Slap Reddit? Like,
right.
like where is he getting this information from? It's crazy.
Oh
Is
man,
he like thinking back to the very first viral slap
yeah.
numbers and
Whoa.
like, dude, it's crazy.
Uh,
Yeah, Power
so
Slap is more number times before, bro. Like what?
Oh man, and hype is here. What is up, man? Thank you. Yes, thank you. The hair is on point this morning. Sound and pound, baby. Good to see you. But oh yes. All right, let's move on from that because we can go on forever.
Yeah.
Do the underrated moment of the week. Let's give some love to where it is deserved. Alex, I got oh boy, geez. I kind of have three a little bit on this one, but let's start with you.
Um, I mean, I'm just gonna. I mean, Cedric Doombay's walkout. It's like, dude,
That
him
was
walking out
funny.
in Paris. It's just fantastic.
With the what
Angela,
the
yeah,
vacuum?
yeah. Fucking, he knows what's up. He knows what's up. He's a showman. Angela Hill getting her first submission win. First finish since 2020. Good on her. She's in the top 10 at age. What? She's 39. Like, dude,
Yeah,
like what the fuck?
yeah, great
Are we getting a
performance.
female Glover Teixeira? No.
Won't
So,
go that far.
yeah. Jan getting back in the win column, much needed. Always love watching that guy, and then Chaos Williams, dude, just taking the soul out of Carlson Harris.
Jeez,
Just
no kidding. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. You
Mortal
took one of
Kombat
mine because yeah, I had Angela Hill also on mine, getting the guillotine there. Just excellent stuff, man. I mean, Luana getting a little bit fraud checked in these last these last two fights for sure, and was even slowing down here. Bummer, she just could not really find that takedown when she was looking for it. But yeah, great performance from Angela Hill.
yeah, Luana
Um,
Pinheiro she's
I'm
not
losing
good.
faith.
Sorry,
I've lost faith.
yeah, she's not good, dude. Like ever, you want to talk about someone fucking faking a knee, random
Right.
Marcos, bro. That's
Up kick.
yeah. You want someone who's fucking cooking a reaction. She's the one that's fucking an actor, dude.
I'm not touching that one. So I adore both of those ladies. But anyway, as for another one here, which I this is kind of I don't know where else to put this one. I think it probably could have fit more in a maniacal moment, but I'm throwing it here into the underrated moment of the week because Alex, I know that you're on my side with this one, and I think most people are, but Emily Ducote borderline got robbed. she should have won for sure, but loses the split decision to Vanessa Demopoulos. I had this all 3 rounds for Dakota. I mean, she was clearly the more effective one. Maybe the visual damage swayed the judges here for Demopoulos because she got cut up by some of the strikes Demopoulos had, but it was just like it was. I saw Caposa say this. Shout out to him. Demopoulos is kind of becoming Diego Sanchez a bit, where she just kind of comes at you, takes damage, and it fucking sways the decisions in her favor. But I thought this was pretty a clear but close victory, like clear but competitive, where Dakota wasn't getting Demopoulos wasn't getting completely like wiped out or anything. But I I did not agree with that decision at all. So um,
I mean, people want to argue damage. Obviously, it's the number one criteria. Dakota rocked Demopoulos in all 3 rounds.
yes,
Rocked her. Is that not damage? Like, are we talking about like when people are breaking down this fight on fucking social media? Are you saying like fate like cuts are more damage than being actually rocked in the fucking fight?
right.
Like yeah, I thought it was a clear Dakota win. I thought Vanessa lost that fight. I thought she lost to Kanako, and I thought she
Yep.
lost to Jinyu Fry. Like
Right. Diego
1000%.
Sanchez, exactly.
Like, which is, dude, and you think about it, dude. Like, she's 6-2 in the strawweight division.
That's fucking insane, actually. I don't realize that at all. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a bummer for Dakota. I thought she looked, pretty solid out there. But yeah, as soon as
you really want to talk about damage, Vanessa was the one that got transported to the hospital.
It speaks for itself. It speaks for itself. God damn it. It's funny though too, because I knew as soon as Bruce said Ron McCarthy as the last one, I was like, he's going the other way. He's fucking this up. It's Ron McCarthy, not too great.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. And we'll never know what the fucking judges were looking at.
That's the worst part about it.
I just like watching that fight. She got rocked. Vanessa was the only one in the fight that got rocked.
That was visibly hurts. Yes.
Yes, visibly hurt. What does that count for? What does that count for? Like if you're looking for stuff to score,
there it is.
Yeah, so.
I couldn't agree more. So touch on that one. But yeah, Rain is happy. He won his $3 bet on the Demavo split decision. 27. There you go. Oh, nice. Take your questionable decision. So there you go. You get yourself a nice meal these days. Jimmy asking, why was Luana Pinheiro so hyped coming to the UFC? She's looked horrible. I mean, she started off all right. I mean, she was She came into the UFC 8-1 there before the Randa fight in her debut. I mean, she was finishing pretty much everybody, just had the one loss by split decision in her third fight. Yeah, I mean, just kind of level of competition, I think, caught up to her. But the hype was in the results before that.
I mean, but who is she really beating on the regional?
That's what I said. That's why I said level of competition. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I thought she lost to fucking Michelle Larson too.
I did not, but that one was too close. It was way too close, closer than it should have been for what we were looking at for her. So there's
I feel like the only fight, only win was Sam Hughes, because I thought she milked the fucking Randa Marcos up kick and she lost with Michelle Larson. So whatever. I sound like fucking Luana's biggest hater. So
yes, indeed. Nikolai was gonna come after you.
Yeah, right. Oh well, I'll fucking send Alex Perez after.
Yeah. Oof. But all right, to close out underrated moment of the week, though, we got to give love to the biggest, clearest underrated moment of the week, Alex. There was history was made this week, God damn it, over in Japan in Shuto as the new strawweight champion, again the strawweight champion, the ageless wonder, the kamikaze angel, strawweight pioneer Emi Fujino keeps on keeping on, grabs the title with a third-round TKO over Megumi Sugimoto. It's not so much the win here that made this special, but she has tied Satoko Shinashi for the most fights for a female in MMA history at 45. And now that she's a champ and has not been indicating anything about retiring, she's probably going to break that one. Satoko is she came back last year, so still fighting. They're probably going to go back and forth, but they're fighting for history. So that's kind of a fun little stat to watch for people who care about that one. But Emi Fujino, the woman who is a wrestle boxer by just absolute definition, doesn't throw kicks, hasn't thrown kicks since 2008. Who knows how long it's been, Ghost. I know you will love that shout, as she had the Phantom Punch breakdown back in the day. But yes, Emi Fujino, pretty much a mummy, with how she's all taped up and shop worn, still getting the job done, has not lost since in 6 fights now, 5 fights there. But yeah, is the champion and ties up history. So there we go. Good deal. All right. Before we move on, let's see these questions here. Makoto, you said something in here, didn't you, buddy? Let me see. My thing's all messed up. What happened to the stars? I don't know. Either way, he said Wang Kong, pronounced Tong, underrated. Did you see the signing, Alex? Did you? Yeah, real quick. Any of Road to UFC?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of usually there's some nasty finishes on Road to UFC. It was a lot of decisions.
Yeah, one fight was wild. The finish was,
wasn't. There was nobody that really stuck out to me yet.
Yeah, right. And then Wang, did she even compete? I don't even remember, but she got signed. Which good signing there at flyweight, as I spoke about last night over on a personal channel. Yeah. Jimmy asking, can we do Panero versus Lemos so we can see Luana get her world? That's just mean. And Lemos is booked against Verna next, which that'll be something there. Oh, this is what he asked. Did I see the legendary kickboxer and one of three, Whaley and Kihan, Combat Sports Queens of China? Oh, he was asking about Wang Tong. Got signed. Yes, yeah, we got. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, sir. Yeah, saw that she got signed this weekend. Good for her. Good flyweight prospect, undefeated. Looking forward to it. Looking very much forward to it. Then Hype asking, did Wan Bin Ki get signed, or was it Wang Ki Kong from the? Yeah, no, it was Tong who got signed there. So yeah, a lot of movement in Asia this week, as we just evidence there. But all right, Alex, let's go to the Mania mainline now, which I believe will just be mostly me running the show here because again, there isn't really too much going on this week with UFC taking a break. We just got done with Bellator. But you guys, it is Deep Jewels 45 fight week, baby. So look forward to that one. We got some great matchups on this one, some good names actually on this card in the main event of Deep Jewels 45 in the new Pier Hall, May 26th. Sierra Yoshima is fighting Aya Murakami for the microweight title. She's going for more gold. Sierra Yoshima, they haven't fought yet, which is kind of interesting. They've been kind of circling each other, but Aya is much smaller, which is kind of crazy to say considering Sierra Yoshima's pretty small. But as I said last time Story fought, she is always must see TV. If you want guaranteed fun, scrambly, grappling action, she is must watch. One of the best atomweights on the planet. That will be a very good fight for as long as it lasts. In the co-main event, Siwoo Park is back again. One of the best atomweights in the world, the number 2 atomweight in the world, really behind Sekizawa, who they have their own little rivalry going. And she's taken on Machi Fukuda, who that is a massive step up for Machi. Machi is a very good prospect, kind of back of the top 15, really, but still just only 5 fights in her career. And taking on Siwoo Park it's going to be a very uphill battle for her, but I guess we'll see if she can get it done. And I don't want to say got robbed in her last fight, but her only loss, which was her last fight, Machi, I think, should have got the nod in that one. It was kind of interesting decision there, too. And then, of course, before that, Rin Nakai is back, the flyweight champion, who has only lost in the UFC. Misha Tate and Leslie Smith fights, has beaten every single other person outside of that. She's taken on Hime in a non-title fight for some reason, 128-pound catchweight. Probably going to win because Hime is just a striker more than anything. And Rinnakai can do much more well-rounded fighter. One of the best Japanese fighters floating out there who will not be coming back to the UFC as much as he wants to. But yeah, those are the big highlights on the card, the top 3 fights. There are 4 other ones to lead up to it, but mostly prospects and some debuts kicking off there as we're always looking at Deep for some highlighting of the up-and-comers. So very much looking forward to those. But Alex, I know you mentioned, you had one before we went on air here. You had to mention.
Yeah, Tough Enough 137 goes down in Las Vegas. Be available on UFC Fight Pass. Former UFC fighter Vince Morales is in the main event. He headlines it against Luis Carrero. So Vince is on a 3-fight winning streak. 2 finishes. His last fight was in Ryzen. I mean,
Best he's ever looked. Yeah,
super good. So maybe he gets the call back with the win on Friday. Who knows? I mean, it's tough to get back to the UFC, but Vince is doing what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah, he's doing what you're supposed to be doing. He's making himself undeniable on the regional scene. He's making himself see like that guy's too good to be on the regional scene, right? So, hopefully he gets back. Also, Justin James is fighting on the card. You remember Justin James?
Oh, yeah.
That is a fighter that bet on himself against Charles Rosa and lost.
It's a sad thing to be remembered for.
Yeah. So
admirable, though. It really is.
Yeah. Respect, bro.
Yeah.
And so check it on UFC Fight Pass.
There you go, guys. That will wrap up our Mania main line. But Synchro asking, what would come first? UFC buying Deep Jewels or the PFL buying one's atomweight division? Fascinating question here, Synchro. Boy, it's kind of, I don't know if So the second part of this is kind of a weird one because you're not saying PFL Tour is buying one, just taking the atomweight division, which is literally something Alex and I have pushed for internally. We have tried to, I mean, not specifically like stealing one's atomweights or anything, which are technically strawweights, but to start an atomweight division. So that's a little bit of a loaded part of that. But I don't think, let's go to the first part. I don't think deep jewels or deep anything like that, it would get bought out by UFC. I don't think they've clearly shown they don't have much interest or a big interest in focusing on Japanese talent. And I say that, of course, as Tyra is getting a main event, but like it's every now and then. It's every now and then you'll see kind of these people come out and they'll give some time to really, but it's never been a massive market they've cared about. And I don't even know if Seki, depending, everyone's got a price, right? But Seki, the owner, I don't even know if he would give it up. Definitely not for cheap. So there's that. And then PFL Tour buying or getting there's a lot of layers to those two organizations against each other. So I guess if I had to say or predict what would come first, though, I would actually go with PFL Tour getting the straw weights, the 115-pound atom weights, by default of like one going out of business or something. Like that's how it would happen. But I think that's more realistic. Alex, do you agree?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's. I mean, I think UFC would go in and buy the one's Anna division before
PFL. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
I think so.
Because that would, in that case, yeah, if you flipped it that way, like I said, their atomweight division is strawweights. They're 115 pounders. So yeah, then they're taking them and just adding them to the division they already have. Whereas PFL would be kind of starting a new thing and all that. And I guess technically they would just have them, but it's much more of a start over kind of new thing for them in that case. So UFC would just be adding good fighters. But yeah, that's an interesting, that's a good question there. And Hype says, yeah, Vince Morales looked great. Good call, Alex. There we go. Getting some love. So Ghost mentions, what about the Ganryu kickboxing promotion where there is a jacked ref and a bunch of masked druids in the background? Yeah, that promotion's fucking awesome, dude. I'm sure you've seen some of the clips, Alex, with the place that looks like a Mortal Kombat fight arena.
Yeah.
That one is amazing. Let's see. And Sigro says, I said one atomweight division for PFL Tour since Don Davis is known for bad decisions. There we go. But all right, with that in mind, we will move along to Spotlightville, good old Spotlightville. Alex, this week, who are we giving the love to as you can pat yourself on the back for the record continuing?
Yes, sir. LFA went down last week, and Ozzy Diaz got a finish. Gilbert Nakatani got a nasty finish. This week, the Juggernaut just sent to Austin. A Australian strawweight. She's actually moving up to flyweight because it was a short notice opportunity to fight for the eternal flyweight title. She's very close. She's very close to getting the call from the contender series. She fought Yosevi Knudsen at UAE, and the winner of that, it was basically told the winner of that was going to go to the contender series. She lost. It was a close decision. And dude, she has, a lot of regional fighters fight bums on their way up. She's gone through the ringer, and she's fought in really good organizations, UAE, Eternal, Octagon. In her last fight, she beat up Carolina Wojcik, who is the only female from contender series to not get signed. And she beat the shit out of her. Left her with a big one of the nastiest cuts you'll ever see. Beat her down. So I would predict if Jacinta goes in there, gets a win, especially if it's a finish, she's getting the call. She'll get the call as soon as she leaves the cage. So, and she's very fun. I do have an interview with her, so I might put her in my prospect of the month for June because I already got one coming out today.
There we go. Shameless plugs. We love them here. Good deal. And this week, Alex, I got to pat myself on the back, though, for Spotlightville last week because my fighters went 3 for 3. As, of course, we had Melissa Gatto. We had Shi Ming get the job done and road to UFC. And then Oh my God, I'm blanking on the other one. Yasmin Najera, of course, who we shouted out.
Look at you. If you actually participate in Spotlightville, you might do good, dude.
Might do good when you put something into it. So there you go. But this week is kind of a case where I know that I'm not going to do well. So, because Spotlightville, I just mentioned her, but Machi Fukuda is the best prospect that is fighting this week. But again, her matchup is just like deep end. Here you go. She's going to get fucked up by Siwoo Park, I think. Love Machi. She is great. Big personality. I think could really be a star one day if she continues to develop in the right ways. And again, she's looked great so far in her career. Very good wrestling, grappling, working on the striking slowly but surely. But this is just like a fucking nightmare for her, like, especially at this stage. Like, Siwoo Park is a bad bitch, man. Like, we've seen her before. The matchmaking here is just it is going to be tough. If she can pull it off, though, that is a massive upset. Obviously, launches her right to the top. I mean, shit, could get herself a title shot with Sekizawa just right off of this, which would make sense if that happened. But yeah, Machi Fukuda, she's really good for where she's at right now and only going to get better. But I struggle to see her pulling this one off because Siwoo Park, she is something else. So I'm admittedly taking the fall on for the victories there, Alex, but Machi deserves it the most out of everyone.
It was also announced that Sam Fairtex is out of both of her fights with a nasty knee injury. I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast, but if UFC in the one, we're gonna do a trade.
Mm-hmm.
Stamp go UFC. Who would you propose to trade to one? It has to be kind of a fair trade.
Okay, let's see. Oh boy, it's interesting because I got to think about the matchups that one has available because their MMA roster is so limited. But I think, I'm kind of thinking somebody at welterweight, somebody for Christian Lee to fight, right? So I'm thinking who could be that guy, and in terms of the first one that came to mind right there was Shavkat, but I don't know if that would be the fairest. I love the matchup there, but I don't know. As you think about where like who he is and all that, like they haven't put the promotional wheels on him just yet. I don't know. That might be the one. I'm gonna stick with it. Shavkat for Stamp.
I mean, why don't you give him like Wonder Boy for Stamp? Like Wonder Boy's kickboxing. They like to do kickboxing.
Yeah,
he's a name. Give Wonder Boy for Stamp.
Even MVP, but we just got there. But like,
no, we can keep MVP. give him Wonder Boy. There's that. I mean, you can give Carlos Esparza for Stamp. You know what I'm saying? A former UFC champion.
No, I don't have interest in seeing her fight those other girls. She'll just beat them all.
But I mean, would you trade? Would you do this? Would you trade Song Yadong for Stamp Fairtex?
No, I don't. It's like the only fights I'd want to see him have are probably like John Lineker and DJ. It's probably Adriano. I mean, I guess there's a couple there, but that the problem with like giving someone to one is that you run out of options so fast, like unless they want to go do the striking sports like you said, right? So I guess I kind of wasn't thinking about that, but in that case, something like that, yeah, that would be fine. I think
Asian,
especially too if you do take a bantamweight, you're not losing much by getting rid of one of those guys. Not that I have no problems. I have no problem. I love Song Yadong, but yeah, I think that's actually pretty solid. Is that the one you would go with, or are you just throwing that out there?
I mean, I would first offer up Wonder Boy. Say, you want Wonder Boy? Wonder Boy for Stamp. They say, he's too old. I'll be like, all right, fine. Song Yadong.
They're like, oh, okay. In that case, give him here. Yeah, and I mean, you could even do Song Yadong versus.
First, low key. First, I would lowball him with Carlos Esparza. I'm not gonna lie, like that. I would say you take her. Then I'd go Wonder Boy. Then I'd go Sonya Dong. But I'm getting Sam Fairtex at some point. Like, believe me.
Yeah, no, it's that like that's their version of Sayaka, you know, for if you're doing the comparison with Ryzen, and perfect person to have. I mean, Sayaka's the startup, the clear, you know, surround the star with everybody, build off of her. But then Stamp is like star, fucking written all over her, bring her in. Only gotten better. Obviously, I'm still blown away by that Sohee Ham victory, which is one of the best, most underrated victories of last year. Yeah, no, it pisses me off, man. I hope she can escape someday. And this is, I tweeted this before we went on, but her having to do surgery right now. This is the fucking MMA gods getting one for double booking an MMA fighter. You fucking idiots! Don't do that. Don't do that. You don't do that in combat sports, especially not in MMA.
And it basically ruins their Denver show in September.
Everything. Now Panda's got nothing to look forward to. Set her free, please. Like, let her finish off her career with a chance in the UFC or somewhere else, because she's literally beaten everybody. That's why they made that fight, because there's no one in her division. I am so frustrated by one's like handling of the women specifically, but
and the handling of their MMA division.
Yes,
it's literally worse than Bellator.
Trapping, yeah, and just entrapment. All the fighters are trapped and stuck there. It's insane. Yeah, it's brutal. James asking, how does one get into the UFC PI? I'd like to meet some of the fighters there. Can you just walk in? No, you need to be invited personally, right, by somebody.
Yeah, you have to get a fighter's permission. But if a fighter gives you permission, you can go in there. For media, they're very tight with like where I can go and like everything. So if I go interview somebody at the PI, I'm in like a little room, but because they don't want cameras in the actual PI because there's so many fighters there, fighters getting worked on, training. Right. Yeah, so
lots of information flying around. So Jin proposes Bilal for Stamp because Bilal is boring as fuck. I think Bilal has actually gotten more entertaining in these past couple fights, but I know he's not always consistent. Jin says Wonder Boy because it lines up with honor and bollocks. Oh man, yeah. They did DJ for Askren, which in hindsight was very weird and not really that fair. It was though at the time. Like I mean, I don't know if you could say at the time, because even then DJ was still like one of the best in the world, but it wasn't as horrible as it looks in hindsight. How about Stamp for the UFC women's bantamweight division? Just do all of them. Send them over there. At this point,
yeah, 100%. I'm fucking. I'll write that. I'll write that contract right now, bro. Send them.
Oh boy. Well, I think that's not necessarily a good segue or anything, but we will segue to the Drelex Movie Club this week, which, you know, I feel bad a little bit, but I knew that this was a divisive movie that I gave you, that it was a love or a hate. And I'm not necessarily at the love point of it. And I knew how you would feel about it, but
then why did you give it to me? That's the thing. If you knew I was gonna hate this, if you knew I was gonna hate this fucking piece of shit movie, why would you give it to me?
I thought you'd find some interesting elements about it, but it is tagged from 2015. Alex, I know you don't have too much to say or anything good to say, so just tell me.
Look, I am all for bloody, gory movies. I love the Terrifier movies. I love gory horror movies. I'm all for it. Saw is up there.
Yep.
This was just over the top. The effects were bad. The special effects, you could tell they were CGI'd as fuck. The story was stupid, made no sense. I understand what they were trying to go for, this out of the box feminist. Nah, it was just stupid, dude. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. Yeah, pass. Yeah.
I think the thing that kind of I guess I enjoyed about this movie so much was the unpredictability. Well, that's number one, because again, I I know you handle the gore and stuff better than I do. Like, not that I can't handle it or anything, but when it's not jump scares, but a lot of stuff comes out of nowhere in this movie, right? Like, and right off the bat, we're doing spoilers, but when everyone gets cut in half in the bus, right? I was like, Jesus Christ, is this what's going to keep happening? And it kind of does a little bit. So that is something I appreciate, not something I like love in movies, because I don't like that feeling of tension. But that was the thing that I got out of it for sure. But as it is a Sion Sono movie, I mean, it is weird, right? I made you watch Cold Fish. Same guy made that. It's kind of weird, right? That he.
I mean, did he use all of his budget on that movie? And like, there was no budget for special effects on this movie. Like, it
Yeah,
was.
Cold Fish was before this. Yeah.
Yeah, he must have used all of his budget because, dude, like I'm pretty sure an AI could make better effects than this. Like, it was just like, dude, what the? Like, if you're gonna go all out gore, like at least make it.
Well, that's
like,
the thing too, is right,
watchable.
because of how insanely realistic the gore was in that movie and in some of his other movies.
Yeah, like when the teacher shoots the girl's head off, like, dude, like it is just the video, like Call of Duty video, like Call of Duty graphics are better than that, Like, yeah, I'm just, yeah. 0 out of 10. I'm just, there's nothing redeemable.
Oh man,
Sucks.
Well,
yeah,
we won't spend
bro, you've been throwing me fucking. You're not letting me hit any.
Hey, now I didn't expect you to not enjoy the art of self-defense as much as you did, but that one was, yeah. I fixed it up though. Don't worry. And this week we agreed it is Furiosa week, right? So we have that to look forward to, anyways.
Thank God. Thank God.
I mean, let's do a brief mention on that. I don't know. I believe it'll be good, but I am a little worried. The trailer's kind of, I feel, and with, I don't know, Chris Hemsworth.
I've heard he is tremendous in the movie. Okay. Like he steals the movie.
He's often hit or miss with me. Like, and I think it's because of that one Thor movie by Taika. What was it, Love and Thunder or whatever that one was? Which was just like nonsense.
I mean, but that's just Marvel. Marvel is in a very bad state right now.
Yeah. So, and I want to say this to you as well before we do watch it, but the last Mad Max, Fury Road, right?
Iconic. It's like just.
So here's the thing.
you don't like Mad Max?
No. So no, I like everything about it. Yes, is what you just said, but I thought the story was fucking shitty, dude. Like, they drive far away from the place they're trying to get to the whole time. That's the movie. It's one big chase, and it's amazing, like for sure. But like, I think it's a little overrated because people just kind of ignore that, which I guess is fair. But like, dude,
I mean, it's the
whole point of the movie is getting where they were.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fucking death. I mean, you think about it, they tried to go get to this place, it wasn't there, so they had to drive back. I mean, yeah,
it's like 100%. A bad road trip.
Yeah, 1,000%. Like, it's like you're gonna drive to Las Vegas to come visit me. I'm not there. You're like, well, fuck it, I'm going back home. I mean, it's the same shit, bro. Like, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but the story might not be in fucking Quentin Tarantino storytelling, but I mean, everything else about the movie is.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have to.
It is iconic. Yeah,
and because of knowing what these two movies are about, I believe that the story is going to be better for this one. Like, it kind of seems like it fucking has to be.
Probably, yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, I'm optimistic. I know it's not going to be as good as Fury Road, and I think people are going to be comparing that movie to Fury Road, so it's already going to be like, you know what I'm saying? So, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it will be good. And I love Anya Taylor-Joy too. I think she's fucking phenomenal in pretty much everything she does, right? Like, I'm trying to think of can't think of even a bad one off the top of my head, but she's on a roll lately. But all right, we will talk about the movie I watched this week, which was American Gangster, one of Denzel's finest again. I mean, talking about don't miss, that man don't miss either. Um, yeah, this was a good old time. I don't have too much actually to say about it, but I thought it was good. Denzel, anything he's in, anything he touches, not going to be bad. I will say, what this was Ridley Scott, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So redeems himself for Blade Runner, which I watched 2 weeks ago. This was better than that, I thought. And it's kind of interesting. I thought one of the big things that was impressive about it was 2007 movie, and it kind of had the feel and maybe not so much the look or so, but I don't know. It really made you feel like it was not from that time. I always thought that it was around the same years as like Training Day and whatnot. I thought Denzel was just pumping them out like early into the decade there, but no, this was actually came out later than I thought it did. Um, just in terms of some of my notes, I got, of course, my cameos to shout out, which Kevin Corrigan, he's in the movie, gets beat up right away, like very much by Russell Crowe and his partner there. Kevin Corrigan, of course, you remember from Pineapple Express and as Budlowski and several other films throughout the mid to late 2000s. Good kind of side character whenever he's involved. The 20% scene, Alex. Whew. That was probably chef's kiss of the movie. We'll give that one. Idris Elba, before he really blew up, gets taken out.
It's just
Man,
fucking.
that's one of those scenes where like you always have the expectation of they're gonna go back and forth a little bit. Not sorry, just no fucking around from Frank Lucas, and that was kind of the thing about him was, goddamn, this guy was as gangster as it gets, man. He was through and through, and I had no idea this was a true story either. So I was like, holy fuck, this was actually a guy. And so, I mean, not that I'm super surprised by that, but in terms of the specifics of Frank, wild, and just some of the ways he would treat his family, like gangster. He was gangster,
100%.
except for his mom. I love that dynamic. How there's that one mama knows, mama's got you, man. Always. So the family dynamic was great in this movie. Denzel, I guess he just loves his Latinas, though, Alex, right? Like, in Training Day, Eva Mendes, and this one.
I mean, who can blame him, bro?
Don't blame him at all. So that was funny.
I think in this movie, I think Josh Brolin he's so good in everything, and he plays when he's a villain, he is so good, dude. He gets under your skin. And this one was no other. He's
one of the best,
slimy, dude. Slimy.
Yeah, one of the best villain actors of all time. Like, and we've seen that so many times, like for a good reason. But like, yeah, he is just awesome in those kind of roles like that, and this was no exception. And it crescendos beautifully with him, like taking the coward's way out at the end. Like, of course. There was actually another cameo in here. A shout to a little appearance from you remember the Hostel 2 bad guy, Alex? Roger Bart was in this, which that caught me off guard. You want to talk about people you fucking hate if you've seen Hostel 2. He gets his dick cut off, which was
in this movie he fucking drops the N-bomb, bro. Like,
that is true, yeah. He's very good at being hateable as well. I would say the raid was a wild scene. That was awesome too. That was really great when they were infiltrating. Russell Crowe, again, let's give him some love. He's always generally pretty great in everything he does. No exceptions with this one. I fucking loved kind of the ending sequence or near the end. It was right before the end, where Frank's walking out of the church and they kind of busted him. Like, ooh, like what is he? There's no way he's gonna do something, but I didn't know the story, so. Then it goes on to negotiate, and that was kind of a surprising decision. That I don't know. I guess I didn't quite expect him to kind of go the way he did about things in the end, and really want to get these guys, which was great. Which was great. But
I mean, you're a gangster until you're gonna go to jail for the rest of your
yeah,
life, and then you flip.
and then you slip, and like all his family goes to jail. Yeah, like it's wild. It's trippy. But yeah, I mean, this was a good movie for sure. I think I enjoyed Training Day better, and I thought Training Day was better because we were making those comparisons last week. I think Rio was, but very good. I think I don't know a solid 8. I feel like maybe there was some time that could have been shaved off and shaved down a little because it was longer than Training Day if we're to compare again. And Denzel, of course, was fantastic as Frank, but again, I think Alonzo's so tough to beat in terms of the character work. But he was amazing. Of course, he just magnifies you in every scene that he is in. And they're two very different characters too, of course, Frank and Alonzo, like polar opposite. They're both gangsters, but in very different ways, like it's very interesting to see that. But yeah, it was great. Unsurprisingly, when you have a cast like this, it's better be, but no, it was a good old time. So with that in mind, Alex, we didn't answer it last week, but I'm gonna ask you now. Which do you think was better, or which did you like more between this and Training Day?
Oh man, that's fucking tough.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, I don't know if I can like
It's a
answer that
tie.
question. Yeah, I honestly I like them the same, to be honest. I mean, fuck. I mean, maybe I'd go Train Day because it's a little shorter and I can watch it more. But I don't know, man. As long as this movie is like, I've watched it a long time, and like I'll watch the entire thing. I'll sit down and watch it. If it's on TV, like I'm sitting down and watching it, like So
yeah. Again, Denzel's just so great. It's pretty wild how good this guy is. Ghost says Josh Brolin as Cable in Deadpool. Does that count as a villain? He was in the beginning of the movie, right? Then he kind of turns at the end, if I remember. I haven't seen Deadpool 2 in a long while, but yeah, he was the bad guy in Deadpool. And he kind of turned good, right, Alex? He helps him at the end, if I remember correctly. Yeah, okay.
Sure.
So I thought so. And then he's also in he's in the Wolverine one now, right? I think he might be. I just saw the trailer when I was seeing Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I'm pretty sure he's in it. So
Cable?
we'll see. Yeah, I think so. Unless I'm tripping, but
I'm not. I didn't see him in any of the trailers yet.
Huh. Okay, I might be tripping then, but that's all right. All right. Anyways, we'll conclude the movie club
of Denzel's performances. Which one's better? Is he better as Frank Lucas or better in Training Day?
Ooh, I mean, like I said, they're both gangsters in two insanely different ways, both unhinged in pretty different ways too. Like, I think Alonzo was more consistently entertaining, and that might have been because, again, time on screen was less just by default there. But in terms of character, I think he is also that way too. Kind of more in your face a little bit with his personality, whereas Frank was like, yeah, it would come out at the right moments, So I think I would go Alonzo, but it's pretty close. They're so different. I think that makes it a lot harder. But I mean, fuck, it's both nuts. Like to think it's the same guy is wild because again, they're like, yeah, that different while still having their core similarities. Yeah, you're gonna want to rewatch this. No, and I just watched it.
Right.
So that's the power of it. And yeah. Okay. Well, before we sign out here, as we will do Furiosa this week, I just love talking about Denzel. I did have one that I added onto my list here, and if you're as I'm assuming you're a pretty solid fan of his. Alex, have you seen like all of his movies? I can just get this one out of the way if you have or haven't seen. I'm sure you have, but
I mean, I've seen a lot of them.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you probably saw Flight, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Sure. No, just making sure. Yeah. I love that one. That's one of my favorites of his. It has been since I
saw
first
that.
Saw that one.
I think did it come out when I was in rehab, and then we watched it. Like we went to the movie theater and watched it. 2012. I mean, I went to rehab in 2012, so maybe that's when I watched it.
There you go. Yeah, that's always been like probably my favorite of his. That movie's just a good old time. But okay, I'll take that one off. I just figured we'd mention it here, but all right, that will wrap up the movie club, you guys. Let's take a gander here now. Just a couple questions to close us out, since we got to most of them today. This isn't a question, but yeah, Rio says, Alex, good news. Drake has watched Inception. That is an iconic movie that he has watched. Yes, of course. One of my favorites, as I said. We were talking about that last night on my Sifu stream. And I was saying, man, I would love to fucking double feature that one of these weeks, Alex, just to watch it again, because it's been years. But Inception's one of my all-time favorites, of course. And
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, it's one that you just always kind of see different little things every time you watch it. So, yeah, that was a good one. Jersey Lee's here says, I saw that the new gold MMA gloves for UFC will come out for the next UFC card 302. What exactly is different about them? Is it like the Bellator gloves that curve the fingers in? No, actually, that doesn't happen. So Alex actually has firsthand experience, but what is the biggest differences you would say, since you've actually seen these things and worn them?
You can
They're
close
smaller,
them a
it
little bit
looks
more.
like. Yeah.
You can close them a little bit so they don't you don't like this. That's what the current gloves are. Yeah, they're just nicer. I don't even know what it is, but there's like so whatever, like there's a thing that always cuts fighters. I think it's the stitching in the current fighters always cuts fighters. That's completely gone, so there's no stitching on the new gloves. That's all that's really super important to me.
The big things, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I saw, what was it, Garrett Armfield did kind of the side by side wearing them, and they looked noticeably smaller, so that'll be interesting to see, maybe if the padding's actually limited and we get more knockouts that way. But yeah,
Right.
they don't curve the fingers, which is the one fucking thing we asked for. Can't have it all, I guess. Trevor Whitman is rolling over right now.
Yeah.
Jersey also asking, will 302 have some custom fight kits like 300? Doubt it. I'm sure that was probably only a UFC 300 thing, where they did that for Pereira, Whaley, and Gaethje and Holloway.
Yep.
Even though it's funny because Gaethje's was not even that unique. Thank you, Rain. Yes, thank you. Good pun action there from myself, if I do say so. But all right, you guys. On that note, we will send it on home. Another great episode. Probably the most animated we've gotten. There were some easy to rant about things there this week. Go ahead and clip us. I don't fucking care. But, good old times. As always, thank you to everybody for tuning in, hanging out. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Follow along, MMania.com. We got our newsletter. You can always stay up to date with all the articles popping out each and every day. Follow along on the social platforms at MMania. Follow myself at DrakeRiggs_ and at Alex Behunin. Alex already did some shameless plugs on the prospect of the week, but anything else coming out, my man? You said Jacinta Austin interview. Was that you mean a new one, or you've talked to her before?
I have it. Oh. I just haven't uploaded it. I haven't put it on our YouTube channel because I was saving it. I wasn't sure if I was going to put her as the prospect of the month or Mania Kira, but I think I'm going Mania Kira, and I might save her for after UFC 302 to give her some time to breathe. So
there you go.
I might put the interview up. I might not. Who knows?
TBD. Stay tuned. Yeah. That's the best way to tease you.
Other than that, catch me on Call of Duty, bro.
Catch him on Call of Duty. Catch those hands. Yes, perfect. And we also, let's give a shout out here late, shameless plug as well, sort of, to Jessie Jess, who got the win, 58-second TKO in her third professional Muay Thai bout over at Fight Night at the Tech this past weekend, which was not aired on streaming or anything, as we debated. So they dropped the fucking ball with that one. Got to fix that up next time. But yes, Jessie keeps on keeping on. She wants to box next. We caught up with her before that. You can check that out here, of course, on the website, on the channel. Spoke to Karine Silva recently after her win over Ariane De Silva. She keeps on keeping on too. Wants a top 10, top 7-ish range opponent. She's being realistic about it. Kind of a logjam up there at flyweight, of course. And then over on my personal channel, I spoke to Christina Loken, who was the TX in Terminator 3. You can see that. Good time. Had a nice little 8-minute chat ahead of her new movie, Darkness of Man, which should be out today, actually. That's why it came out yesterday. Why the interview came out yesterday. But yeah, that was fun over on my personal channel. And then Broad Horizon episode 39 will start production today in about an hour or so, 2 hours. So look forward to episode 39 coming out probably next week at this rate, because yeah, we'll be getting the guests on currently lined up for today and Thursday. So yeah, next week, Broad Horizon episode 39, and also Sound and Pound 33 here next Tuesday, same time, you guys. We will see you then. Until then, enjoy the week off from UFC and all that stuff, but enjoy your regular combat sports programming wherever you find it. Until then, stay safe and stay sane, everybody.